This is for Madness to Creation here, and I have Joyous Wolf here with me, and we're going to be just kind of talking about mental health. And they're just basically just going to give fans and viewers some advice on what they can do to help with their mental health, and maybe some tips that help with their mental health and wellness. So I'm going to give the floor to them.
Rob and I both came up in that sort of late 90s strangeness when it came to, like, you know, giving kids pills and stuff. That was really when it started to get heavy, and then, you know, when suddenly if you were a hyperactive child, you were deemed unacceptable, and you had to be calmed down with crazy drugs, and Robert took those pills.
That was like
yeah.
it's back in elementary school. I did do that. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I was what my parents told me to do, and it honestly did help with school. But it's just like, you don't realize what it's actually doing to you as a kid, and like when you get off it, like after I got off it, like for a while, because I realized, like, no, I'm not eating it's like that much, and I just kind of feel like not myself, and you come back to yourself and you're like, whoa, should I be that guy or should I be myself? It's so weird. Yeah. Anyways, back to just normal, just mental health, like lots of meditation, lots of trying to understand and agree with people, and knowing that people most of the time aren't trying to actually hurt you. It's just probably a difficult situation, and in those times where people are actually trying to hurt you, you need to talk to someone about that.
And this
That can really affect if I'm not like an expert, but I know if people hurt you and you're not able to express that or get that out of yourself, it's just not healthy at all. So,
for dealing with depression and with affects like that. We've all had times in our lives where we slip into divots, and then some people can't get out of those holes. And the only thing that I can say to someone experiencing something like that is find something to put yourself into. The only way you can look at yourself is if you put it somewhere else.
also, it's not a weird thing to get professional help. I honestly think that there's a huge group of people that should still just go and make sure they're okay, and like able to talk about their feelings and what they're thinking and what they're going through. I always think that should be, it's not weird to go and get that kind of help.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
So real quick, how can the music communities step forward and come together?
I think the music communities will come together quite often, to be honest. Do you mean in general, or do you mean in support of?
Basically in support.
Yeah, in support, I think it's just about having a proper environment that is about creating in general, and about accepting the limitations of every person and the personality of every person, instead of skewing so much that it's just one thing. That it needs to be more open-minded, and there's a lot of communities that are like that, but I think in general that can always be better. I feel like in having more music in school, you know, we had music in school.
Oh yeah, that was a big help, at least to me, because that was one of the first things that I for some reason just wanted to do, and asked my parents, was like, hey, can I play violin? Could I play, like, please? And just because it was something to do, and like whether that be with sports or like acting or drama or just education in general, academics, like it's not a bad thing to go and delve into that and enjoy it. Because like if you find something that you're good at doing, you like it, that's awesome.
It gives you a lot of purpose for yourself, and that does a lot of wonders for the mind. You know, without when I got out of sports in high school and I started really doing music, I didn't really know. There was a point in time where I didn't have anything. I didn't know I wasn't playing sports anymore, and I hadn't really started music yet. So there was this kind of a period of my life where I was just sort of sliding, you know, and not having anything to focus on. And that was honestly my worst time in my life, was not having something for me. You know, I wasn't competing anymore. I wasn't putting effort into something, and so you feel very much like you don't have a purpose and that you're just taking up space, you know. So like you said, all of those different things should be provided, and I feel like that's something that the grander music community could do if we all came together and did something like that. You know, the more powerful individuals, you know, who could have an effect on stuff like that. And again, we have stuff like the schools of rock, and we also have community theaters and stuff like that, you know, places where people can go and express our more artistic sensibilities, you know. And so I think it's not a big thing. I think that art should just be pushed with education in the same magnitude, you know, because you're going to have a better student body, or better community for pretty much anyone that will be constant, open thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. Want to thank Joyous Wolf for sharing their thoughts on mental health awareness and everything like that. We strive to just have a higher purpose besides just music, so that way we can all come together. So thank you very much, guys.
Anytime.